You missed the 3rd through 6th rounds. We picked for you since you were on.
Yeah, we put you on auto pick. I'm sorry.
Yeah. We gave you young Sheldon, weirdly.
That's cool. I'll pick up Preston's parents.
Yeah, there you go.
2 votes, baby.
Go for the parent vote. Welcome to Drafted. I'm your host, Daniel Prentice, and as always, I am joined by my good friend and co-host, Preston Thompson. Preston, how are you doing today? What are you drinking, my friend?
I'm doing so good, Dan. Today's a work day, but I'm extending the 4th of July holiday.
What?
I'm drinking beer in the afternoon. Do not tell my employers.
Today should not be a work day. Yesterday was the 4th, and it was a Sunday. Therefore, you get the Monday off.
I'm on the grind, and this is work, right? This is my job. This is a work day. Yeah, but I am drinking a Field Party Blonde Ale from the Georgia Beer Company, brewed in good old Valdosta, Georgia. Sort of local. I'm sort of buying local. Local enough. Same state. And it's delicious. So if you drive through Valdosta, which, Daniel, I'm sure you do, living down in
I definitely
Florida,
have done that
then
a number of times.
Get some Georgia Beer Company beer.
That's where Wild Adventures is.
Yes.
Valdosta.
Correct.
A nice little, one-day theme park. It's a good time.
Mm-hmm.
But Preston, we are thrilled to be joined by a first-time guest on Drafted, one Britt Burkey of Friggin Nerds Media. And we met Britt, just a totally random moment, after a live show on Twitch, which you all need to check out. We rated someone else who was doing a podcast, and we discovered Friggin Nerds, and they were awesome. And their podcast, which they do once a week, they also draft. Their show is all about the latest nerdy news, and then at the end of each episode they'll do a draft, which is very similar to the style of draft we do, which is a little bit smaller. But we are thrilled to have Britt. Britt, how are you doing? Thanks for coming on. And what are you drinking today?
I'm so well. I'm so stoked to be on here. We love you guys. I'm drinking.
Oh, it's mutual.
Tequila Sunrise today.
Oh, hell
yeah. Yes.
Because it's the only thing that I had ingredients for in the fridge.
You know what's great is before we were recording, I'm pretty sure Daniel and I heard you just shout to Mike. You said, "Mike, can you make me a drink?" You did not specify. I don't think you did, but he just knew. Tequila Sunrise is perfect. What a perfect choice.
Yeah. So Mike's off work today, so he can be my errand boy. He's my drink boy.
And I'm sorry we have to do this, but really the whole point of this is so we can issue you that you've been served for stealing our drafted IP and drafting on your show.
This is
true. You're actually in court right now.
Yeah.
I know it doesn't look like it, but there is a judge on the line with us, and we're going to go ahead and settle this right now.
All we ask for is 99% of all your profits. That's all.
Which I feel like is very fair.
You may be disappointed.
Hey, no. I mean, we've been doing this podcast for over a year. Our 1-year anniversary was very recent, but we know all about it. The monetary expectations of getting the podcast off the ground.
The only gain is in fun.
So much fun.
I'm at a net positive on fun for sure.
No, but as soon as we met you guys, we're like, we have to have them on the show at some point. And so there are 3 others that are the mainstays of the Friggin Nerds, and hopefully at some point we can have all of them on as well and see which of the 4 of you is the best drafter.
Ooh, yes.
I made sure to really rub it in all their faces though this week. I was like, guess who's hanging out with Dap this week, guys?
Yeah.
Guess who didn't get asked? None of y'all. I'm like, it may be because I'm the biggest loser on ours.
No.
I've literally won once this entire season.
Yeah, well,
I was like, it may be that I'm just the best out of all of you, which is what I'm going with, or it may be that I'm the biggest loser.
I mean, I co-host the show and I've only won once? Twice?
No, you've won at least twice. Although I think here, so Britt, something's got to give here because I believe our guest has won every episode of season 2 so far. I don't think
this
will probably be what changes it, guys. I'm just going to let you know right now.
We're due for a course correction. Out. Yeah.
But I'm shocked because I'm always on Preston's side. Every time.
That might be your problem.
When we burrito draft, I was like, queso, done, right there. You don't have to put anything else on it. Just slather
queso
that
and
tortilla and queso, and
done.
I'm done.
Unfortunately, I think that was the strategy Preston took in his draft as it played out.
And I'm glad I got your vote because I appeared to get almost nobody else's. So
yeah. Well, I now know
where my support came from.
That was a bad performance by both of us. We got embarrassed. But Preston, what are we drafting this week with Britt?
This week, we are drafting 6 TV shows from the 2000s, 2000 to 2010, to make the perfect
2009,
streaming
right? To clarify?
service. Yes, 2009.
Because 2010 starts a new decade.
Yes. We're drafting 6 TV shows from the 2000s, 2000 to 2009, to make the perfect streaming service. Has to have started in that time span. It could have gone longer. And you get all those episodes if it did go longer. But to make the perfect streaming service. And Daniel, I'm concerned for you because the first thing you said when you hopped on the Zoom is, I don't really watch TV.
Yeah,
so,
I'm pretty concerned for myself as well. Yeah, I'm definitely disadvantaged with this one. I don't watch much TV, and a lot of the TV I watch is like British shows on YouTube that probably no one else has heard of. It's too much of a commitment to watch a lot of TV for me.
It's really not.
I watch my live sports. There are some shows that last years, man. That's a lot of watching.
That's the great part about a streaming service, though. Yeah, give yourself a long weekend. You can knock a lot of these suckers out.
It's too much for me, man. I'm sorry. Listen, I mean, you should be happy because you should be able to beat me in this draft, right? Because I don't watch TV. No, but there are a lot of shows like that. I watched a lot more TV in this decade than I do now. So I think I should be hopefully fine. But does anyone have any questions? Britt, are you all squared away on the?
I'm here. I'm ready. I prepared.
Ooh,
I went back. I listened to all y'all's things, so I'm like, I need to really understand these guys. Like, I need to do my homework.
I'm so sorry for that.
Our minds.
Yeah, it's not a great place to be.
Now I'm scared. But if we're ready to go, the draft order is per random.org, our favorite website in the entire world, is Preston first, then myself second, and Britt third. And as always, snake style drafts. The order will be reversed on even rounds. But if we are all good here, without further ado, Preston, why don't you give us the first pick of the 2000s TV streaming service draft?
Okay. A lot of pressure here. But I'm going to play to our audience, you know?
Yeah, you have to. I think on a topic like this, sometimes it's not a good idea to play the audience. You should just pick what you think is best. I think in a TV draft, you have to go to what is popular.
Totally agree. There is a lot of stuff that I think is best, and it's very low down on the board because I'm a weirdo, and I like the weird stuff. But with the first overall pick here, I'm going to take The Office.
Yeah.
Now I'm reading the market economy here, right? And I'm reading basically an entire streaming service in Peacock starting up because they could get this property. Like, that is basically the only reason they started to exist, is like, we're going to go get The Office property and then that'll be enough to create like a market base right out of the gate. And that's a very powerful thing. So I'm assuming if I get that, people are going to be flocking to me just for that one. I feel like it's a good number 1 pick.
Britt, do you have any thoughts?
I'm kind of pissed.
Yeah.
Like, I knew it was going to be number 1. I was like really hoping, but I knew it was going to be number 1. The Office is the best.
It had to be number 1, right? So I kind of teased Press a little bit before. I said I think there's a clear number 1 here, but it would not be my personal number 1. I like The Office. I've seen it all the way through once, up until where or after Michael leaves. I tried to do a few episodes and I was like, this is not good. I can't do it anymore. So I stopped watching like a few episodes into that. Apparently, I guess it got like a little bit better after that, but it got
better after Will Ferrell left, which hurts me because I'm like a massive Will Ferrell fan.
If you told somebody at that time that they were going to throw Will Ferrell into The Office, everybody would have been like losing their minds over it. But then it turned out to not work somehow. Yeah.
It wasn't good.
Michael makes a show in a lot of ways. I feel like people are weird about The Office. Like, I'm pretty sure neither of the two of you are on any like dating apps, because Preston just recently got married, and Britt, I believe, has been married to Mike for a decent little bit.
I've been married to Mike for a long time. Yeah. I may join like one of those swingers dating sites.
Nice.
We've been married a really long time.
Yeah,
at some point you got to change things up.
Freshen it up. Yeah,
just to see what's out there, you know, dip a little toe in.
But I feel like 90% of the people on dating apps use The Office as like their personality. It's like,
totally
I quote too much from The Office. We'll get along if you love The Office. And it's like every single person. It's like, listen, The Office is a good show, but come on, people. Like, there's more in the world out there for all of us, you know?
It is their replacement for being funny. Is just really liking this TV show. I agree with you on that, but that's part of why I take this here, right?
No,
it has this like insane following.
Obsessive following, yeah.
It's had this huge resurgence. So we have a teenage son, and like all of his friends and him are like obsessed. Like, our sons watched the show through at least 10 times, like from beginning to end.
It's so rewatchable.
And all of his friends do that too. Like, it's absurd.
It is absurd
how obsessed these kids are with this.
Yeah, so I think for those reasons, And I've made my peace with The Office. I think I got something off my chest that has been weighing me down for a long time, but I think it has to be the number one pick. So great pick by Preston to start. Now I am going to go, this kind of frees me up, which is nice a little bit, because I certainly would have taken The Office if Preston did not. But this frees me up to take something that I actually do enjoy very much, and it also had a massive resurgence, I think, particularly during the pandemic, which had a lot of people going back and watching a show from their childhoods that they adored. And for me, it was the first time I'd ever actually sat down and watched the whole thing all the way through. So I am going to take Avatar: The Last Airbender with my first selection.
Oh my god, I thought that was going to come back to me somehow. I didn't think that was going to get
I didn't think that would go in the first round.
Yeah, it was an S tier show for me. It's not as long. You only get 3 seasons out of it. But I think I will be able to get shows that have a little more depth in them later in my draft. And I really just wanted to get something that I think is immensely rewatchable and very strongly resonates with the people that listen to this podcast. I'm hoping.
That's it. Is our audience in the Venn diagram of fans of Avatar: The Last Airbender, I would venture to guess, is like 99%. Gotta be.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So that's a good choice.
And I just want to say, because like I watched a little bit. I've watched like most of the first season of Avatar and like some of season 2 of Avatar when it was like airing when I was a kid. And I just like, it was like, I like fell behind my sister who was watching it every single week, and I just like gave up like trying to catch up on the DVR or whatever. So I'd never actually watched the whole thing all the way through until last summer. What an incredible show.
Yes.
What an incredible show. It's so good. Like it's not good for a cartoon. It's a phenomenal show. Mm-hmm. So I have to take it there, second pick overall.
Britt's looking at us like she is thinking about disagreeing or she hasn't seen it or something, and I'm going to be very upset.
Here's the thing.
Oh no, there's a thing.
I like my kid will listen to this and cringe. I don't watch anything animated.
Oh like, my gosh!
Except what I'm forced to watch with like the toddler. Mm-hmm. You know, like Disney stuff. I don't watch anything animated, and
Britt,
he's like obsessed with anime.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, anime is great.
But I can't do it. I don't know why. I cannot
Britt,
do it.
Let this be your exception. Let Avatar, because I do think Avatar is so good that it could change your mind on animated shows. I really do think that.
I agree.
And like, and it's kind of anime-y at times, but not. Like it's like a good like American style animation that kind of is an homage to the anime style. So you don't get like the super cheap feeling animation that you get a lot of times with anime.
Right.
But and the occasional problematic portrayal of female characters. You don't get any of that in Avatar.
Yeah.
That's honestly one of my favorite things
positive.
about
it. Yeah, extremely positive portrayal. It's just a great show. Give it a chance, I would say.
You could watch it with your kids.
When Loki is over, then maybe.
Yeah.
Then maybe I'll dip my toe into Avatar.
Now, Marvel's about to have an animated series. Marvel's about to have an animated show. Are you going to watch that?
What If?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, I think I'm going to watch that only because it's Marvel.
Hypocrite.
If it's Marvel. I know.
This could be good. This could be Britt dipping her toes into the world of animated television, and then she'll have
right.
Her,
Look, 6 months from now,
world
you could be talking to a different person.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we'll hit you back up then. But for now, Britt, you have back-to-back picks here to close the first round and start the second round.
So here's the thing: when you reached out and you gave me this decade, I was like I watch an obscene amount of television. Like it's not healthy. But this was a weird decade, right? Because I was still very much a closeted nerd at this point.
Oh, sure.
Like my family's all athletes. I had not come out. I wasn't there yet. Like I was not comfortable coming out as a nerd. And so like I was watching stuff, but it was like in secret, right? So that my family would not know how nerdy I was. But there was one show, and I don't know that it's necessarily like a first round pick because people have really strong opinions about it. But this show is the only reason that Mike and I started dating and got married.
Then it has to be a first round pick for you. It has to.
Right? It has to be. Like Mike would probably divorce me if I didn't take it. And it was like my coming out show. I was like, I'm here. I'm just gonna do it. Mm-hmm. It's Lost.
Okay. Nice.
So Lost was it. It was like my first show that like I joined forums, you know, and we would like pick apart the show like frame by frame, like total losers. And then Mike, he found me on Facebook and he was like, "Hey, I see you're into Lost. what's your favorite Lost character? And I was
That's
like,
amazing.
done. I'll take him, wrap him up.
That was how you guys met?
Call it a day.
Is that really true? Wow.
Yeah, it's absolutely true.
All right,
we went to high school together, but we didn't talk. Because I thought he had like a lot of zippers on his pants. So I thought he did drugs.
That's like a tough look.
Logically, that made a lot of sense to me.
Okay,
that is a tough look to pull off.
I don't want to totally dog on your the show that is the reason you guys are together then. But
it's okay.
But really,
I'm used to it.
Truthfully, here's the thing. Lost, start to finish, I actually think is very good. I'm on that train. I think it's fantastic. The problem is, for a streaming service, when you get to the end, there becomes no more reason to go back to the beginning and start again. For me, at least. Because the point of the show is the mystery, and then when the mystery is solved, I don't feel like I would want to go back to the beginning.
Is the mystery solved at the end?
Oh, wow. Shit.
And not particularly gracefully, no.
No. Well, that's what everybody gets so pissed off about at the end, is everybody's like, you guys promised that this wasn't going to be purgatory, and then it was purgatory. And I'm like, if that's what you think, then you weren't paying attention.
Spoilers for a 20-year-old TV show.
Oh my gosh. So it's like, really, they didn't answer anything, which is part of why fans were left like kind of salty and pissed off. Is nothing was answered. Why has everybody else gotten a re-up on shows that don't even deserve it? Where is mine? Where is my continuation?
Start the movement now.
Right?
Yeah. Right now. Bring Lost back.
That's J.J. Abrams, right? I think he's probably too big to come back and do TV, right? He's got to be.
Yeah, but someone else could do it.
I guess. But
JJ has said he won't come back and do it.
Yeah. Well, not after
the writers
that backlash.
said that too.
Yeah. Not a chance. Not after like the death threats they got or whatever. Yeah, no way.
Now I can't.
Super into that show.
I can't actually speak to Lost. I've never seen it. It's not really up my alley. But I do think it's absolutely one of the massive shows of this time and kind of iconic of this era of television. So I think it's a great pick here.
Yeah. Thanks, Daniel. I'm glad you appreciate it. Okay, second one.
Good after a strong start.
Okay. When I started trying to figure this out, I was like, do I want to go with like a niche streaming service like Funimation? Like that's super niche, right? But like, people love it. Or do I want to like spread this out a little bit, right?
I think you probably want to spread it out, not to,
so that I have the money.
Drafting style, yeah.
It's all about the money.
It's all about the money.
It's all about the money. Okay, so I feel like I need to go ahead and get a comedy. Preston already took number one, which is definitely The Office. For me, number two is going to be Modern Family. So I'm going to go ahead and take that as my comedy. I don't like many comedies on TV shows because they have that canned laughter.
Yeah.
I don't need to be told when to laugh.
The canned laughter
Maybe you're
is
not
rough.
that funny.
It's the Modern Family is like might be one of the last of the kind of mockumentary styles where they're doing the talk to camera asides that kind of started with The Office. You're getting kind of the end of that line, which it might be one of the last really great ones to go through. I like it a lot. I think there are a couple more comedies to choose before, but you don't watch a lot of TV comedy.
I don't. I just don't, and especially if there's canned laughter. Like I know Big Bang is a big one in that decade, but there's canned laughter in it. Like I don't tell me what to do.
Canned laughter is bad. I can't believe it still is a thing that exists.
Right?
I am thoroughly convinced that my parents are the only reason Young Sheldon is still on the air. The people behind Young Sheldon are like, well, there's these two people, and they just keep recording it and then watching them over and over again. We've got to keep putting them out. So I
feel like it's all like it's my parents' generation,
which is
like
weird
super into
because it's
this
a show about younger people. It's very strange, but whatever.
Right?
Whatever.
Right?
Yeah, we don't need to go down the Young Sheldon
Modern
path.
Family.
I still like it.
I like Modern Family too. I agree with Preston though that I have several comedies ahead of Modern Family, but Modern Family like it hits a note that a lot of comedies don't, in like that very kind of like wholesome, cute comedy that is very enjoyable and very very rewatchable, which is important for this. Okay, I think I will also go comedy here, and I think this is one I actually was just talking about this yesterday. For me, I've not seen nearly as much of it as I should have, because every episode I've seen is a riot. But I feel like this show is very pervasive in internet culture for people our age, and also there are about 1 million seasons of it. They're still making it, and will apparently just make it forever, and it still stays fresh and very funny. And I'm going to take It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Ooh, yes.
Okay,
that's a great choice. Because I think, weirdly, even though they're half-hour TV comedies, the overlap between The Office and Always Sunny is different. Like, I don't think there's a lot of in common there. So you're getting a group of people that I don't think we've tapped into yet. Because a lot of my friends swear by it. And they think I'm insane for not having watched every single episode.
Same. Yeah, and I know a lot of them listen to this show.
Yeah.
So I'm banking on that getting a lot of votes.
Yeah, I think you're right there. I've watched some of it, and it's very good. It's hard to, like you said, take something that has that many seasons and start from the beginning. But if you have a streaming service with only 6 shows... which is what we're going to end with. You need a show that has, like...
You need a lot of episodes.
You need a lot of episodes.
Fill that up.
Exactly.
Yeah, you do.
Exactly.
Got to fill in that content.
And I will say, I have seen a number of episodes, and every single one I see is hysterical. It's so funny. Like, some of the hardest moments I've laughed watching TV are at Always Sunny. And I don't really know why I haven't gotten into it and, like, watched the whole thing. And mostly it's because I don't like committing to TV shows is the big part. But I do think it's a great show, and I know a lot of people would probably rank it as, like, their favorite comedy, maybe of all time, TV-wise, so.
Dang, really? Okay,
Yeah.
See, I'm making, like, this list of, like, random stuff that I apparently never picked up.
Yeah. Britt is learning this episode, and I love that for her.
That's good.
I'm shocked, because I watch a lot of TV.
You got to always be learning,
Yeah, always be learning, always be growing, That's how you get better as people.
There you go.
All right, Preston, you got back-to-back picks here, my friend.
Well, I have 3 S-tier choices left, so I'm going to take 2 out of 3. Okay. But the one I'm leaving on the board I badly want, because it is my favorite show to ever be on television. But I'm not going to take it.
You're going to leave it on the board?
I'm going to leave it on the board.
Whoa.
Because one of these is such a wildly different direction that I have to snag it now. Mm-hmm. And that is Planet Earth.
Whoa.
I think you would be shocked at how many people will just put on Planet Earth. Stream.
No, people, yeah.
It's
great, like,
remarkably
kind of
rewatchable. Watch. Every 3 minutes of it is like you're seeing it again for the first time. And it's a great background watch. Like, you have like a game night with your friends or something, but maybe like because of the game only half the people are taking their turn at a time. Put some Planet Earth on. And people are just like entranced by whatever's going on the TV. And there's nothing else on my list that comes anywhere close to being like it. So I had to snag
it. This is off my radar totally. I mean, obviously I'm aware of Planet Earth. I did not have it on my list. I was like, I didn't do a ton of research. I just kind of like looked at a couple internet lists of like greatest shows of the 2000s, and Planet Earth was not on them. Planet Earth, I mean, it's an incredible show. It's just
no, that one didn't even cross my mind.
Yeah, me neither.
Makes a lot of sense now that you say it.
Yeah.
There's also an extended universe of Planet Earth stuff that I may or may not get, depending on...
No, come on. Let's not get carried away here.
Well, there's like Planet Earth 2, which is Planet Earth. But
when did it debut?
Well, much later. But don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
All right. So now I'm guessing Preston's beating himself up, because it sounds like you could have gotten that with your last pick.
Yeah, since neither of you had it on the board. But it's so different that I wanted to snag it early.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then for my next one, I'm again going to go with a wildly different direction. And I'm going to take a show that has a massive cult following. But this one comes with an asterisk next to it.
Okay.
I'm going to take Doctor Who. But of course, it's the Doctor Who that starts in 2005. The reboot. Which I think is fair, because there was like
I always assumed it was just the same continuous show.
No, I mean, it's the same characters, but completely different cast, and it was off the air for like 30 years. So I think calling that the same run is
I did not
fair.
know. I genuinely did not know that Doctor Who like flat out stopped. I thought it was just like a long running continuation.
Well, I actually don't watch it, so but from my research, okay. I mean, I think it was on in like the 60s, and then it went off forever, and then came back in 2005. Is that right?
It's one of those that's so overwhelming to jump into because there's so much.
Much.
There's so many.
Yeah.
That's on Mike and I's short list to go ahead and start. Like we need to do it. Yeah. I know we love it, but it's just a lot to jump into. It's a little overwhelming.
That's where I was at too. My wife and I watched the first episode, and we were like, "This is cool. This is something we could get into." And then when you like back out and you see all the other episodes, it's just so overwhelming. We were like,
right.
We'll wait. We'll wait just a little longer to try it. But there's such a giant catalog of it, and again, has a massive cult following, and it's also gonna pull in people that I don't think anybody else on this list would get.
Yeah, like my dad, who definitely votes on the Twitter
Sweet.
polls.
That's a 1 vote, baby. That's 1 vote.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. I've learned something about Doctor Who today. Because I know that there have been a bunch of doctors, like, throughout time. So I just kind of assumed it has just been running since, when it started, like the 70s or 60s or something. Because I know my dad watched it, like, when it was first airing, I think. So it's been around a while. But, this definitely has a cult following. I just don't know how many of them will be voting on our Twitter poll, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's fair. It ran, by the way, from 1963 to 1989, and then it stopped until 2005.
Okay,
so
that
if
is
you guys are willing to
That
give
is
me
a
that.
long time.
Yeah. So I don't think you get the old Doctor Who, but I think you
No.
get everything post 2005.
I think even Doctor Who fans would tell you don't even have to watch the old one either. So I'm getting the
Whoa,
better of the two.
whoa! He's just alienated all his potential voters.
No, I'm just saying. That's what they tell me. That's what they tell me when they're guiding me through their universe.
Okay, well, I got scared there for a second. I am now going to take what I think a lot of TV connoisseurs, like people who watch, what do they call it? Like the premium television. What do they call, like, the HBO shows? There's some word for it where it's like this is like golden top quality TV programming. You guys have no idea what.
Are you trying to remember the word pornography? Because that's
no, no.
Okay, sorry, I was just double checking.
No, it's I forget. I'm totally blanking on the word. I'll think of it later, I'm sure. But I'm going to take what many like TV devoutists consider to be the best TV show, maybe of all time, and that is Breaking Bad.
Ooh. I actually thought you were going a different way here when you said best TV show of all time. But
well, no, I'm hoping that the one I think you were thinking of comes back to me in next.
Okay,
round.
I gotcha.
I think Breaking Bad is like the more mainstream choice as the best TV show of all time, and if you're thinking of the same show as me, I think is a little more like the
hipster choice.
I am smarter because I know.
I'm smarter than you because I'm going to say this one.
But Breaking Bad was the other one I tried to watch it. I just don't do dramas. I'm a man of high anxiety, and so, like, stressful shows are not good for me. I need to.
You don't need any extra.
I do not. I need to decompress and, like, watch something, mindless and funny and wholesome and nice. And Breaking Bad is certainly not that. But I know. I mean, it's just world renowned as just being absolutely incredible television. So I honestly feel thrilled to get here in the third round.
I'm shocked. I thought Breaking Bad would go first round.
Yeah.
Really?
Like, I had that
I think
listed.
it could've.
I was like, this will definitely go first round.
I think it easily could have.
I had it higher based on where it sits in my brain of how good it is. But having watched it all the way through on a streaming service, and I finished and I was like, that was incredible. One of the best shows ever made. I have no desire to go back and rewatch it. Because it is it's a difficult watch. Because it is, like, tragic and dark and dramatic. And it's not something you want to go back through and binge again. And that's why it moved down a couple spots for me, is I don't think people are constantly going back to it like they are some of the other shows that I've taken on my list.
That's very fair.
That makes sense.
But very good, though. I mean,
Yeah.
It sounds like neither of you two have actually watched it all the way through.
I certainly have not.
I just have not. I just couldn't get it. Just didn't stick with me.
Change your mind.
It feels wrong.
I
because
don't have
people
time to do it
love
right now, but just go ahead and change your own mind so I don't have to do it later, and then you'll be good.
But okay, Britt. So I just took Breaking Bad. Now, with your first two picks, you went Lost and Modern Family, and you're again back up with back-to-back picks.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up my drama. This one's hard. Like if it's like stuff that I've watched. God, I sound like such a girl. I've seen enough Grey's Anatomy to do surgery on you. Like, You'd be safe. I feel like I've been through med school. I've been watching it for like 18 years, man. Like, I was in high school. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that.
So you're not taking Grey's?
I'm not going to take Grey's.
Wow, okay.
Because I feel like that's like a lot of chicks watch Grey's.
Can I?
And I'm not feeling like a lot of your audience is going to be voting for Grey's.
What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say, Britt?
Very,
Are you saying
very
women
quickly.
don't listen to our show?
Well, I think the demographics actually bear that out, but there are a select few.
Okay,
that
Preston and Daniel, have you guys watched Grey's Anatomy? You tune in every Thursday?
No, I've never seen Grey's. I've never seen Grey's.
I have watched one episode, and no joke, it is one of the craziest episodes of television I have ever seen. And it almost made me want to go back and watch the whole series until everybody told me that was probably the best one. And it was an episode where, and I'm just going to give you the premise so I don't spoil anything for those fans out there. A surgeon had her hands inside a man on a bomb that was like embedded in this person. Right. And if she moved her hands, the bomb would explode and kill everybody in the hospital. So she just has to stand there perfectly still until they can figure out what to do. And it is the most tense thing I've ever seen. Like, just thinking about it makes me like shiver. It's so good. But that's the only experience I have with that show. If the rest of it was that good, I'd probably watch it.
That's actually the final episode because she does move her hand and they all die, and that's how the show ends.
They all actually just died there. And then they all end up in purgatory.
Yeah, I won't spoil how it ends, but it's not good. It doesn't end well.
But that's the issue that, I'm so invested, right? Like, these are like family to me because I've been watching them for so many years. So it's like, it doesn't matter if it sucks. I'm still going to watch it. But like, the problem is that like every few episodes, there's something insane like that. And it's like, it's amazing. Okay, y'all, I feel bad for this hospital. Like, this is, they have like some serious PTSD happening.
The fact that you have that attitude about Grey's Anatomy, yet you took Lost, makes me think it must be really crazy. Because I know, having watched Lost, I was like, this is getting ridiculous. Why are there polar bears everywhere?
Oh my gosh, the polar bears. Okay, so I'm not going to take Grey's.
Not taking Grey's.
I'm going to go with, I think this was an HBO show as well. Loved it. Love anything mid-century. I've got to go with Mad Men.
Nice.
I love it. Love the ad agency. All the dudes sitting around smoking all the time. That was actually like the first episode. They're trying to figure out like how to get around the whole like smoking causes cancer thing. They're like, no one will believe that.
Yeah,
that's not true.
Yeah, we're gonna push the power of advertising. No, that's a great choice. Mad Men, from everything I've heard, having only watched a little bit of it, is one of the best shows of that era behind,
yeah, it's really fantastic.
Breaking Bad that was already taken. So I think that's a great choice. And a lot of people just absolutely swear by it. So again, you're getting a kind of cult following.
So this is another thing for me. The things that I watch, I hate watching shows where you don't like the people. And Mad Men seems like one of those shows to me. We're like, what's John Hamm's character's name? Don?
Right? Don Draper.
Don Draper.
Isn't he just like a
he's an ass
scumbag? Yeah.
He's a period piece ass, but he's still an ass.
Right.
Yeah.
But there are redeemable characters in that show. Something like Breaking Bad, you do really struggle to find redeemable characters. But there are a couple in Mad Men, I think, from what I've watched. But I see what you're saying. It can be hard to binge something back to back to back that has no redeeming hero in it.
I have to take breaks with those.
Sure.
Like, I'll take a break and go to something really mindless.
Sure.
So that, I don't feel like jumping off a cliff.
Well, and that's
then
fine.
I can come back to it.
Even for a streaming service, like, where streaming services clearly, want you to binge everything. They want you to watch everything in a setting. But if you only got 6 options, you probably don't want that, right? Because then people are going to watch everything and they're not going to have anything else to watch. So maybe you want something that has like a natural pace to it.
It's going to be more event viewing. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so how are you following up Mad Men here, Britt?
Okay, so not sure how you guys are going to feel about this one.
Ooh, let's find out.
But we have to have a lot of episodes, right? We've got to fill it in, and
content.
There's no show that has more episodes than this one. Look, Mike is back here fist pumping me. This decade is when reality TV blew up.
Oh, you're about to snatch one of Daniel's picks here. I know you are. Do it.
Are you a fan? Oh, I hope so. Okay.
You might be, actually.
So Big Brother.
Okay,
It's got to be Big Brother.
Ooh. Yeah, it doesn't sound like that was Daniel's pick. But
it was not my pick.
Okay. No, I think he was hoping for The Bachelor.
No.
Daniel? No.
So
I know you're into The Bachelor.
I really am not.
The Bachelor extended universe.
So there is reality TV that I like. I will reveal that at a later time so that no one steals my pick. But how many episodes of Big Brother have there been? Do you know?
Oh my God. I mean, it's like absurd because they air 3 nights a week.
Oh my god!
And it's for like the entire summer.
My
and in
God.
the beginning, it was like 5 nights a week.
There are 783 episodes of Big Brother.
Okay, my show that I am planning on taking in the last round blows that out of the water.
No, how?
Yes.
How?
But multiplies that.
How is that possible?
I'm shocked. I'm anxious to hear about this now.
Jeez. Okay, well, man, that's weird. Okay, back to the original pick.
That's still so much content, and I feel like
yeah.
I totally agree with the reality TV thing. It's not for me, but I know a lot of people absolutely gobble it up, and 700 episodes is a ton. So I think that's a very strong pick.
Can you give me the elevator pitch on Big Brother? Why I should watch it? Because I've never seen a single episode.
I just want to say we're doing a
serious?
TV draft, and I feel like 90% of the shows we've picked, at least 2 of us have been like, yeah, I've never seen that one.
Which is weird.
That's crazy, right?
Everything on my list I've watched almost all the way through. So very strange. Yeah.
Yeah. So Big Brother, okay, they throw a bunch of strangers into a house together.
Love it.
So they have no outside contact at all.
Ooh.
So it's all just like let the personality shine and let that drama fester. And so somebody each week is awarded head of household who like nominates a couple people, and then one of them's voted out, kind of Survivor style. Ooh. And then there's different like competitions throughout the week that they can win safety or head of household. Or
very much indoor Survivor. It sounds like
it is
interesting.
Mm-hmm. It was better back in the day when they had like. It wasn't all people that looked like they came off a CW set. Like everybody was like
a real
super
person.
Hot now.
Yeah.
Like I want to see people that look a little squishy in their bikini. You know?
Right.
So it was like way better back then. But we still we watch it religiously. That's another one like Grey's Anatomy. I've been watching since high school.
I think Big Brother is the quintessential reality TV show, really. Like I think it hits just about every single note you could ever want, from like your kind of trashy, like looking
simple
into the
premise,
looking into the lives of other people type reality TV show. I think it hits.
Well, and the cool thing about Big Brother, or like super creepy, I don't know, is the cameras are on. Like there's multiple cameras everywhere, right? And it's filmed 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
And if you pay for, well, now you have to pay for Paramount Plus. You have access to those live feeds all day long.
Wow.
And I sound
that is
creepy as hell. But Mike and I, we like Big Brother, it starts this week. We leave this shit on all day. We fall asleep to strangers hanging out in our bedroom with us.
Amazing.
It's really weird when I say it out loud.
It's extremely weird when you say it out
It's very
loud.
comforting. Very comforting. Yeah, Lauren's show is the Kardashians, so that's what we've been falling asleep to very recently, which I feel like wakes me up in a very strange mood sometimes.
Oh boy, let's not get into the Kardashians. That would really bring my mood down.
I know. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Okay, well, so the other show for me that I think many people consider to be the best show, maybe of all time, but certainly of this era, is still on the board, and so I'm going to take it here as I select The Wire.
Nice. Yep, that's what I was thinking you were going with when you got Breaking Bad. For someone who doesn't like drama, you've got the drama corner pretty pegged.
Yeah, well, this isn't for me, this is for the voters.
Yeah.
What is The Wire?
Has anybody watched The Wire
on
on the show?
Even heard
No, I've never
of
seen. Okay, so The Wire is an HBO show. Came out like early to mid of the decade, I want to say, and is about the gangs and cops in Baltimore. Mm-hmm. Okay. And it launched the career of Idris Elba. He's one of the stars of the show, and just has a lot of really other tremendous other star acting performances, and is apparently just unbelievable, top-notch, S-tier, greatest of all time show.
Michael B. Jordan too.
Michael B. Jordan, yes, Michael B. Jordan.
Really?
Yep, as still a kid. Yeah,
right.
I mean,
he was very young. It went on the air in 2002, so he was probably quite young.
Yeah, he is quite young, and so this is one that I've seen a lot of clips of, but I've never actually sat down and watched like a whole season. And Pete, there's always a debate about like which season of The Wire is the best, but I feel like lots of the hipsters who have watched it will say this is TV at its absolute peak. So I think I have to take it.
Yes.
Okay.
I like it. I think it's a good choice.
Thank you.
Well, we're back to me.
Maybe someday we'll actually watch some of these TV shows that we're all drafting.
No. Yeah, we should practice what we preach, and at the end of this, each of us just cancel all of our subscriptions except for these 6 TV shows and see what life is like.
Yeah, good idea. Why don't you do that and let us know how it is, Preston, and then
no,
Britt and I can decide if we want to follow.
Okay. Back to me here, and I get back to back.
You do indeed.
My S tier choice has made it all the way back around to me, so I have to take it now.
Okay.
I know there are problems with the show. It is my favorite show to ever be on television. It's the same way you love like a family member that isn't perfect, and that's Parks and Recreation. Parks and Rec is my favorite show to ever be on TV.
So you have The Office and Parks,
and that's why I didn't take it the last time I was
a little samey. I'd be worried.
I don't care. I feel like people are gonna think you two are so dumb for letting both of those come to me.
Well, you had the first pick for The Office.
I think Parks and Rec is better than The Office, and I think
a lot of people say that.
Wow, really?
I think a lot of people
say that.
So a lot of this is actually me too, because I was thinking about this. A lot of this is me playing defense, because then if one of you gets Parks and Rec in like the 5th or 6th round, it almost washes away my first overall pick, and I can't be having that. So I needed them both. I got them both. There's no other show quite like it on the board anymore. Although there's a couple.
And we have Chris Pratt.
And we have Chris Pratt,
which is
in his prime when he was still kind of tubby, and just
that's how we like him.
Pre-hot Chris Pratt.
Pre-hot, yes. And then for my next one.
Well, I just would like to say that this is a show that I have seen, and is clearly a good show. So, I do think getting at the end of round 4 is probably a steal.
Thank you. And for anyone wondering why it is my favorite, is because it's basically what I do for work. So it's like if someone made a show about, your job, you would like it too.
Yeah, Modern Family, exactly.
There you go.
Great point. Okay, next one. I'm gonna get my favorite reality TV show of that era. And I don't watch a lot of reality TV, but I have seen a couple seasons of this, and they have absolutely blown me away. So I would be very happy if I got stuck having to watch this, and it's Survivor. It barely makes the cut. I think the debut date is May of 2000. So it barely squeaks in there.
Sneaks in.
Yes. It is fantastic. It's very good.
It was one of those groundbreaking reality shows, because we were talking about reality went crazy back then. You had Survivor, and then you had American Idol, and you had The Bachelor and Big Brother. Those, all reality TV has kind of jumped from those.
Yeah. And there is one season of Survivor where they bring in 3 teams. There's a team of athletes, there's a team of really attractive people, and there's a team of really smart people, and they make them all fight against each other. It's amazing. It is like peak
We would all
American
be on the
television.
Really attractive team, right?
Yes.
That's where we would be.
I would have to flip back and forth with.
I was gonna say I definitely don't slot into the other two.
And the Genius team. I'd have to be on both.
One of the people on the Genius team was the GM of the New York Mets. This was peak American television. It is so good. It's on Hulu, I think, right now, if anybody wants to go watch it. But the really attractive people are just so trying hard to incredibly manipulate people. They're trying to establish relationships with people. They're trying to use their attractiveness. It's insane. One of the people is on the attractive team, but really they're a world chess champion, so they're actually on the other team and they're being a spy. God, it's amazing.
Oh.
Okay, I'll shut up now.
No, I would like the sports counter argument would be that the GM of the New York Mets is certainly not a genius. So
no, absolutely. I think he's legitimately. I think he's the first one eliminated. So it was great.
Nice. I mean, reality TV of this ilk is really not for me. I have absolutely zero interest in Survivor, so I can't really weigh in here. So hopefully Britt has some thoughts.
I mean, I watched Survivor. I watched all the reality TV that was breaking out then. Survivor was my least favorite. Probably because it was the one I'd be the least likely to go on. Because I don't like to sweat.
Yeah.
I don't want to be without toilet paper.
Yeah, it seems like a bad time.
It's hot and there's mosquitoes.
You could go on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and you're in and out the door in a half hour, right? And you know what? If you lose, you lost. If you lose on Survivor, you could have wasted 9 weeks of your life in a desert and gotten nothing out of it. That's a problem.
I mean, you're basically just describing the Southeast. I don't have any desire to go sweat and get eaten by mosquitoes and gnats.
It's true.
No, thank you. We do that every time we walk out the door.
They should do Survivor Okefenokee Swamp or something. Survivor, like where the three of us actually spend our day.
Well, they should do Everglades.
Yeah,
Survivor
or
Everglades.
Just drop them in the middle of the downtown connector of Atlanta, Georgia, and see how long you can make it.
That I would watch.
I would just be sitting and sobbing. I'd be out immediately.
Yeah, having driven through there a lot, you would not be alone either. People are doing that every day down there.
All right, this is where I have to ask a question.
Oh, okay.
Does a mini series count?
If you want it.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like a tough value add to me, but
it is
technically Planet Earth is kind of a miniseries. I mean, it only has so many episodes. If you're not going to give me the extended universe, which I think you should, but that's okay.
I'm so tempted to go with this because I think it is the best thing that has ever been on television, in my opinion.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, because you and I have bonded over this for sure.
Yeah, but I think, especially because I have Breaking Bad and The Wire, I don't think I can take it because it's too short. And I think for something to be that short and to fill a category that I've already filled twice, I don't think I can do that. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my favorite comedy that I did watch from this era. And what's nice about it is it kind of hits a lot of genres in its own. It hits kind of that medical drama a little bit that a lot of people love from this era. And it's just very, very funny. So I'm going to take Scrubs with my fifth round.
That's what I thought.
Great choice.
Okay.
Great value. Because it's got a ton of seasons, too.
Mm-hmm.
So
well,
we
we don't talk about the last season and really like most of the penultimate season, but everything
we don't do that on any of these shows.
Is fantastic.
You know what's crazy?
Yeah.
I'm sorry about this, but you know what's crazy about Parks and Rec is they somehow stuck that last season. The last season of Parks and Rec is one of the best ones they made, and that's crazy to me because most of these other half-hour comedies try and live a little longer than they should.
Yeah, a little too long.
And they can't pull it off. They can't.
Well, the funny thing about Parks and Rec is like the throwaway season for them is the first season.
Yes.
That's
not very good.
It's the first season that for Parks and Rec that people kind of pretend.
I tell people to start season 2, episode 1 if they're watching it. 'Cause I don't think you need to go back to the beginning. Yeah.
They hadn't quite figured out what they wanted everyone to be yet.
Love Scrubs
in season 1.
Love
Scrubs is so good. Okay. So it seems like we're all positive on Scrubs, which is music to my ears. Britt, it is now time for you to take your final 2 picks. What are your final 2 shows of your streaming service?
No pressure.
Let me look here. Okay, I've got my comedy. I've got my drama. I've got reality.
Young Sheldon.
Young Sheldon is not
Young Sheldon it's so high on my list.
It's won a lot of awards for some reason.
Has it really?
Yeah, it's the thing that proves the Emmys are broken.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm just going to have to I'm used to, I get to this point in all of our drafts. Like I start off where I'm like, I'm gonna like think this through. I'm gonna make smart decisions. Mm-hmm. And then somewhere in the draft, I'm like, screw it. I'm just gonna do whatever I want.
Firing from the hip.
That's how I lose every week. I'm just gonna do whatever I want. So here, I'm gonna pull from the category that this is what I was watching in my nerd closet. Mm-hmm. Here we go. I'm gonna do. Oh, jeez, how do I pick from these? Okay. This one, maybe nobody's watched it, but it's phenomenal. I'm going to go with Fringe. It aired on Fox. Fringe. If you haven't watched it,
I've never seen Fringe.
You need to.
Fringe might be a little too fringe for our voters.
Wow. That's
okay.
some real low-hanging fruit.
I told you, that's
Dan.
what happens at the end of all these drafts. I'm just like, screw it. Like, we had to go do Harry Potter characters, and everybody's getting all the cute characters. And I take, Voldemort and the Death Eaters.
Wow.
I got, 0 votes. I'm like, you know what?
It has a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. Give me the elevator pitch on Fringe.
It's fantastic. Oh, gosh. Okay, so Fringe is... it's one of, the first shows out there in that decade that really dealt with time travel, and it started just sort of after Lost got popular, I believe. It had Pacey, right?
Oh yeah,
Joshua Jackson.
Nice.
I can't remember people's real names.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, he was one of the main guys in it, and his dad was sort of like this mad scientist dude who jacks a whole bunch of stuff up, and so Oh yeah, it was.
It's also J.J. Abrams.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. And it's pretty supernatural in nature, right?
Super.
Yeah.
It's so you're going through like a lot of actual like real scientific theories. That's kind of cool. And so I don't even know how to explain it.
I very badly want to watch
like
this.
mad scientist, time travel. It's really good.
So
it's fantastic.
let me read you this pitch from Wikipedia real quick. The series has been described as a hybrid of fantasy, procedural dramas, and serials influenced by films like Altered States and television shows such as Lost, The X-Files, and The Twilight Zone. I badly want to watch this now.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Because it is episodic. That's like it's because
self-contained
each
stories.
time they're trying to like fix some crazy thing that Dad broke.
I feel like I've seen a couple of episodes and enjoyed it. I mean, it's not my cup of tea necessarily, but it does seem like a good show.
It's one of those that the last season, like, it's not the best.
Goes off the rails a little bit.
It lived a little long.
Is it?
They got a little lost there.
So just stop or don't have expectations?
No, never stop.
Okay, don't stop.
You never stop. All right. Miley Cyrus.
There's always going to be another mountain. Well, you were doing We Can't Stop. I was doing The Climb. I think that shows you how different we are personality-wise.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, so Fringe. Go watch it.
Okay.
Sold.
Last one. Screw it. Picking from the same freaking category.
Oh, is she rethinking it? Is she rethinking it?
There's a better pick with way less episodes because it's one season.
Oh, I
cult following.
I know what you're taking.
Yeah.
But then there's another one in the category with like a bazillion. It just ended very recently.
I think I know what that one is too.
Screw it. I'm gonna go Firefly.
Yeah.
Wow.
One season. Firefly. Really fantastic.
Now, here's the
Love
thing.
it.
Do we
If
give
you're
it a movie?
if you're a big streaming service, you can do like what Netflix did with Arrested Development, bring it back. If you were able to bring back Firefly, I think you'd probably win. On like a large population
that's another one
scale.
we've been waiting forever,
That's true.
right? Like, why are none of the good ones come back? They deserve it.
It's one of the reasons I've never watched this show is because everybody has told me it's so great, but it didn't come back, that it would just make me sad, right? Like, how would that be a satisfying thing to watch? If
Do you mess with perfection? or do you just jack it up again?
That's true. You know, you
This
stop
is
and
why
smell
there's
the
not
roses.
a Talladega Nights 2. You can't do Ricky
true.
Bobby again.
You can't.
No, you
It's
definitely
too
can't do
perfect.
Ricky Bobby again.
You can't.
They kill off a pretty major character in the movie, I know. So I think even if they brought it back for more of the show, it might be
It would be tough.
a little weird, yeah.
Yeah, see, so Preston, you at least have the movie.
Yeah, you have the
That's
movie.
true.
Watch the show, and then you get the movie.
That's
You have the movie.
too.
Okay. All right, I'll
Yeah.
dabble into it then.
Was the other show you were considering, Britt, was it Supernatural?
It was.
Yeah, I caught that too.
Yeah. I love an angel in a trench coat. Give me that Castiel.
Who can blame you? Who can blame you?
Right? I didn't want the Winchester boys. I was like, give me that trench coat, angel.
This is so tough here. I have one that I want to pick for volume, but I don't know if I can. I feel like it'll be too Fringe. Here, let me. You guys do me a solid. I'm gonna float it past you guys. And I want to get your reaction before I lock in the pick.
Happened
before I lock it in. What would you think if I took House Hunters International?
Whoa.
What?
Okay.
Jeez. That is out there.
There
What a pick.
There are 2,500 episodes of House Hunters International.
Oh
Holy
my god.
crap. Okay, so this is what you were talking about. Wow.
I
watch it. It's great.
It's a great
I
show,
love
right?
it.
I
It is.
am not going to say anything because I feel like this is cheating the format of the program.
This is
It is-
insane.
it is a
Did
little
that
bit, isn't it?
seriously? That came on in the 2000s?
And there
2006,
somehow thousands of
2004,
episodes.
somewhere in there. 2,500 episodes. Oh, more than 2,500 episodes.
I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's good. It's mindless. You don't really have to pay
No.
attention.
And you can watch so much of it.
Are you taking it?
I don't know. I'm so
Make your
torn on this,
choice.
Preston. I'm
You're
so
trying my
torn on this.
patience.
Hey, we gave Britt like 15 minutes to decide between.
She's the
final
guest.
shows.
You've done this before.
I know. You know what? I don't know. It's not in an A tier for me. So even though it has a ton, I think I'm not going to take it. Instead, what I think I will take is, because this also hits a totally different genre than what I have, although it is also, again, kind of short. But I feel like my volume is still always funny, so I don't need more volume. I'm going to go Chappelle's Show, which I think is very
that was on my list.
off the beaten path, I think. But it's such a unique flavor of a show and is so many iconic moments, especially if, like, I have the only way that you can ever watch Chappelle's Show. I think that's going to get a lot of those. It's
incredibly rewatchable. Yeah. Any kind of skit format show like that's incredibly rewatchable for sure. I like it. It's a good pick. It actually somehow really it didn't make my list. I didn't even see it anywhere in my research. I kind of forgot about it. But that's a great choice.
But better than House Hunters International, would you say?
Well, I don't know. We're about to find out, right? Because I might take it.
Fair, true.
Is it back
I think it's a smart pick with your depressing Breaking Bad.
That is certainly true. You need a comedy.
People can get depressed and then they can
watch Breaking Bad and they'll be like, oh, I need a break. And then they watch The Wire. They're like, oh, God. Everything's awful.
All right, but this is your final pick. And the final pick of the draft here, Preston.
I am so tempted to take House Hunters International.
If you do
I legitimately think it's better than anything else I have on my list.
I'll be extremely pissed if you take it.
I'm kind of convinced it's better than anything else I have.
God damn it. This is why he rushed me. He wanted me to think. He wanted me to not take it so that he could take it. What an asshole.
This is true. I wasn't trying to be mean. I was really thinking about it. I already have a new reality mindless stint here, so.
Yeah, you have Planet Earth. You have Survivor.
I just want. I want to put a big stamp on the comedies. And I want people to flock to mine just because I've got all the comedies you could ever want. Because I was a little worried about taking this. Would I have some overlap with Parks and Rec and The Office? But I think it's different enough, even though it's a half-hour comedy, that I'm still getting good value out of it. I'm going to take 30 Rock.
That's a good one.
I love 30 Rock. I think it's great.
Basically is Peacock, is his streaming service.
Yeah, listen.
He's got all the NBC comedies.
So you just recreate.
Imagine if Peacock had Doctor Who and Planet Earth. Then there you go. Welcome. I'm going to remake the Peacock logo, and it's just going to say Preston. There's your preview for the graphic this week, everybody.
I do worry that you're a little samey here, though, Preston. I think there are some other, there are obviously all great comedies that you have, but kind of strike similar notes in some ways.
Here's kind of what I'm thinking strategically. I think people will legitimately, when they go get a streaming service, they do not look at the catalog of offerings. They have something they want to watch, and then they go get it. For me, I got HBO Max because I wanted to be able to rewatch The West Wing, and they got The West Wing, so I went and got it. Like, I didn't look at the rest. I obviously know the rest of the catalog of HBO. But, like, if you're a Marvel person, you go get the Disney thing. Even if you don't watch any of the Disney Plus things. If you're like, oh, I got to see WandaVision, you'll get it. I don't think you look at the list of something. You kind of look for what has the things I need, the one or two things. And if they're on the same thing, then I go for it. So that's why I think I'm covering my bases with Office, Parks and Rec, and 30 Rock. Because, like, who is a person that doesn't like at least one of those three? You know?
Not a person that I want to be friends with.
Not a person that fair. I think, is good in their soul. Fair. You are bad. Okay, that was a little aggro. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'll back it up a little bit.
No, I think you were dead on. Okay, well, that concludes the 2000s television show streaming service draft. I'll give you a rundown of the teams before we go to a quick break. Preston ends up with The Office, Planet Earth, Doctor Who, Parks and Rec, Survivor, and 30 Rock. I have Avatar: The Last Airbender, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Breaking Bad, The Wire, Scrubs, and Chappelle's Show. And Britt has Lost, Modern Family, Mad Men, Big Brother, Fringe, and Firefly. We're going to take a quick break and be right back to break those teams down in just a second. Okay, I usually ask, I don't even remember, who pays attention to what the hell I do during the show. I feel like I usually ask what the worst pick of the draft was first, but this week I want to ask what shows did you want to pick but just couldn't? You ran out of room. I think we kind of all touched on this pretty broadly while we were drafting.
Tons.
Yeah. But Britt, why don't we start with you? We know you wanted to take Supernatural, and you hemmed and hawed pretty hard on Grey's Anatomy. Were there any others that you really wanted to take but didn't have enough room for?
Okay, so the other one was Heroes.
Oh yeah, another massive
because
show.
It ended up getting
bad.
Yeah,
but there was it had a moment though. There was a moment. It was like the
so
cultural touchstone. Yeah,
that brief fleeting moment. Yeah. Heroes was
and
huge.
they tried to re-up it, and it was also bad.
I didn't even know that they tried to bring it back.
Yeah.
Oof.
It was also bad. I was really sad. It was a great show for like 2 seasons.
Yeah,
and then it got bad. So, but that was another good one.
What about you, Preston?
I'm just going to quickly shout out everything else that was on my list. We don't have to talk about any of them.
Sure.
But I put a lot of work into the list. I just wanted to see the light of day. In no particular order, people. How I Met Your Mother, Arrested Development, House, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Family Guy, The IT Crowd, Gilmore Girls, Top Gear, and Friday Night Lights.
So
Whoa. Gilmore Girls?
Gilmore Girls.
Preston.
That was going to be my reach.
Right now.
That was going to be my reach. I've never seen it.
Hey, don't pigeonhole us, Britt. Oh, he's never seen it.
I've never seen it. No, she's right.
I'm
She's
shocked.
correctly pigeonholing me. No, she's right.
So I think Family Guy actually aired in '99, so I don't think it would have been eligible based on what I saw.
Avoided that.
How I Met Your Mother for me is one that I think might have been smarter to take with your last pick because I do think it hits a kind of different sort of comedy.
I was deciding between those two.
If your play is to go for like people who just want one show, I feel like you'd probably get a lot of people who are in love with How I Met Your Mother.
So here's the thing. I'm a big How I Met Your Mother fan. I hold it in the same light as Game of Thrones, where somehow you ended it so badly that I don't want to watch it anymore at all. Like, I don't feel like going back to the beginning because I know that it's just not going to stick it right.
It ends bad.
And I was saying the same thing about Lost, although I think Lost is way more redeemable than either of those two that just absolutely botched it.
Blew it.
That's the correct answer, Preston.
Also a canned laughter show, which...
and in the early seasons, you kind of forget if you watch it and then you start over again. The early seasons, the canned laughter in that show is atrocious. It's so bad.
I also had Arrested Development on my list for sure. I was a little surprised. Like Dexter is a big one that I've never seen, but I feel like had a very strong cult following for a long time.
Yeah,
but I think another one that ended kind of
badly.
Maybe put some bad taste. I was surprised Grey's Anatomy. I was surprised Grey's Anatomy did not get taken. I think it would have been a very strong pick because there's so much of it, right? Like there's just a bajillion episodes.
It's still
going. Yeah.
Yep.
Some like Band of Brothers was the one that I was alluding to, which is the best thing that I think has ever been on TV. I absolutely adore Band of Brothers, and even though it's very heavy, I find it incredibly rewatchable. But with it being only 10 episodes, and with me going for Breaking Bad and Wire, I think I just couldn't quite squeeze it.
That would have really been piling it on.
Yeah, it would have been a little too much. Also, the House Hunters International, obviously very strongly considered. I do kind of love any of those house hunting shows, and that was like the biggest one that came out in that era. And Mythbusters, I think, was one that I strongly considered.
That was on my list.
That would have filled a very different role.
That would have been a great choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of episodes of it, and fills a very different flavor than any of us, I think, really got. Okay, so what was the worst pick now of the draft? Now that we've touched on the things that we all left on the board.
Boy, that's tough. I like all of these. I like the 3 teams. I don't think there's any that I wouldn't be able to have a good time with. I would like. Britt's team is tough for me because I haven't seen some of this stuff, but that almost makes me want to go, watch it. That's kind of the whole point of this.
Then you would get to watch new shows.
I know. Yeah, that sounds great. I'm very comfortable in my own space, though. I like to watch things I've already seen because then I know what's going to happen.
Same way. You know what's good. That's how I am with movies. I'm pretty reluctant to watch a new movie. I'm much more comfortable rewatching the same movies that I know I love.
I'm shocked. I never rewatch stuff except for MCU.
Because we need an answer of what the worst pick is.
Yeah.
I hate this. I feel terrible about it. But
brace yourself, Britt.
now that I have
I can handle Preston.
Now that I have heard it described, or not I've heard it described, but it felt to me like Big Brother was Survivor but inside. It seems to me like it wouldn't be as entertaining as Survivor but outside.
You would be a fan of one or the other, right? It was like fans. You were either a Survivor fan or you were a Big Brother.
Yeah, I think it depends on what you're looking for out of your reality. Like if you want to see people suffering in a harsh environment, then you want Survivor. If you want to see people have sex with each other and then lie and backstab each other, then you want to watch Big Brother.
Give me that one.
Yeah. So I think both are very fair picks, and we're picked kind of similarly. Like Britt took Big Brother the end of the third round, and Preston took Survivor at the end of the fourth round. So it's not like there was a huge disparity where they were taken. The start of the fifth round, I should say, but same difference. I was surprised by Doctor Who. Doctor Who.
Really?
I think it was the only one that I didn't even have on my list. I guess I didn't have Fringe there either, but Fringe was taken later. Doctor Who surprised me. I know that there's a lot of Doctor Who, but I feel like a lot of the appeal of Doctor Who is the old timey parts of it.
I think to echo my mentality again, if you were a Doctor Who fan, you're picking whichever one has the Doctor. There's no amount of catalog that either of you two could have that would outweigh that, right? So I'm getting the individual pieces that are going to bring somebody over.
I don't know how. I mean, maybe I'm just dead wrong about this, but I feel like there aren't a ton of people listening to Drafted that are diehard Doctor Who fans.
You might be right. Prove me wrong, listeners.
Yeah.
Prove him wrong. Don't prove me wrong. Wait a
Prove me wrong, people who I want to vote for me.
Don't do that.
Well, now the final question of the show. Who has the best streaming service? And I feel like we're all going to vote for ourselves here. So if that's the case, you're very free to say that, but give us your second choice if that is the case.
I am adamant that I have the best team here. I feel really good about it. I really hope the vote sees that through, because I think I've really put a corner on stuff people actually legitimately go watch and binge. So I think I've got it. But in second place, it would be tough to only have the funny stuff and not get to watch any of the actual good award-winning drama stuff. So I'm tempted to go with Daniel. I think that's probably what I'm going to go with. But it's not really fair because I haven't seen a couple of Brit shows and I want to.
What I was doing here today, Preston, was providing you with a list of really phenomenal shows that I just need you to watch. That's really why I was here today.
I appreciate
that. Solid, Preston.
We're not even recording.
Just trying to help you out.
We're not even recording right now. This is just for me. I appreciate that. This is a television intervention.
Sharing shows that we think each other should watch.
As much as it pains me, because usually I'm Team Preston.
No.
Usually I'm Team Preston.
Don't do this. Don't do this
so
to me.
It hurts me, Preston, to have to say this, but I feel like Daniel's is the most balanced out of all of our teams. Mine's really sci-fi heavy. Preston is really comedy heavy. But Daniel's is pretty balanced.
This takes Team Preston from a group of 1 to 0.
Wait, are you saying even you are not Team Preston?
I about half the time. Lauren's Team Preston about 25% of the time, I think.
But never overlapping?
No, not really. No.
That's hilarious. Wow, that means a lot, Britt. I'm thrilled to hear that. I kind of, and I think leaning on comedy is fine. I just really worry that like too much of the comedy is the same kind of feeling comedy. And I do think the President was onto something with I'm going to pick shows that have devout followings because they're going to instantly vote for that and not care about a single other show. But I think he really only has 2 of those is the problem. I think The Office and Parks and Rec are really the only 2. I mean, Doctor Who, I guess, too. But I feel like Doctor Who is a little more off the beaten path devout following. So I don't know how many people listen to Drafted and vote on Twitter also are insanely into Doctor Who. The Office and Parks and Rec for sure, but I wonder if that will be enough to kind of counteract the.
Here's the thing, though: if we're talking about straight revenue, again, the teenagers have brought back The Office and Parks and Rec.
I know
these kids have disposable income.
They're massive shows.
Spending mommy's credit
they're
card.
The ones
baby.
spending the money.
Yeah, you can buy my streaming service in Fortnite bucks.
Why do you think Peacock exists? It's for my son and all of his stupid friends and all their disposable Dunkin' Donuts income.
And as we all know on Drafted, you just got to follow the money.
You just got to
follow the money.
I'm adding that to our list of potential merch ideas.
Yes, keep an eye out for Drafted merch. Hit us up on Twitter or in the Discord with your ideas of what kind of merch you would like to see. I think we're going to start unveiling some stuff, so you got that to look forward to. But also remember, it doesn't matter what we think. I mean, we're all going to vote, I think, probably for ourselves on the Twitter poll this week. But it all comes down to what the viewers think on Twitter. So be sure to vote over at DraftedPod on Twitter. Join us on Discord so you can discuss the episode with Britt and me and Preston. And follow us on Instagram. Support us on Patreon if you can't. The links to those will be in the show description. You guys know where to find us. But Britt, thank you so much for coming on the show. This was so much fun. We hope you enjoyed yourself as well. We look forward to having you on again in the future.
Thanks for having me, guys. Thanks for sitting around talking nerd TV stuff.
Yeah,
no, absolutely.
It was our pleasure. And Britt, if you want to give your elevator pitch for all that you guys do over at Friggin Nerds, the platform is yours.
Sure, yeah. So I'm part of Friggin Nerds with my husband and two other folks that we just basically sit around and talk about nerd stuff and try to prove to our moms that we really do have friends. So it's not working.
It's an uphill battle.
It's, like, Mom, I do have friends. Internet friends are real.
Yeah, you show the Twitch window and you're like, see the 17 people watching? Those are my friends. You don't get it. Mom,
those are my people.
These are my people.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, we do all a bunch of shows. It's not just the podcast. We do a whole bunch of crazy stuff, but you can find us at twitch.tv/FrigginNerdsMedia, and it's the same on everything else, all the socials.
Yeah, it's Friggin Nerds, Friggin. And they really do so much fun stuff over on Twitch. Twitch has become like my space starting like since this year. And they really do a lot. They do D&D, which is really cool live. Oh, yeah. They do their podcast once a week, which is fun. If keeps you up to date and fun discussions on all the nerdy happenings. And then they play fun games and stuff. They're a great fun foursome, the Friggin Nerds. So
Daniel's favorite though is Crafts and Cocktails. He likes to
Crafts and Cocktails
his
is great.
On with us every other Saturday. Come in, do some crafts with us. Daniel's like, girls, I'm here. I'm here with my cocktail, and I'm ready to party.
Britt is joking, but she doesn't know how deadly accurate she's being right now.
You know what's really weird, though, is that the vast majority of our audience on Crafts and Cocktails is dudes.
Is dudes, yeah. That does not surprise me.
Listen. Yeah. Looking for that opportunity to get in touch with our crafty side.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Right?
Yeah. It's what the modern man is all about, you know? Mm-hmm. But Britt, yeah, check Britt out and her fellow Friggin Nerds. They're great. And Britt, thanks again so much for joining us today. For Preston and myself, we will talk to you all next week.